Hello there, digital peeps at YouTube's mkgtweety, and I'm making this vid today because I gotta give you a little bit of update of what's been going on with the fam, because my dad had his back surgery, all this kind of stuff is going on. So, because I've been updating, I've been giving real-time updates on my Instagram, so if you want to go follow me for more uptime, real update stuff, it's instagram.com/mkgtweety. Links to all my socials will be in the description box below. Um, so we'll get to me first. I turned 42, the big 4-2, on the 21st, which was a couple of days ago. It was the day after Easter this year. I had a very lovely birthday. I got the triple fajitas from Chili's, which is his chicken, steak, and shrimp. And it comes with fiesta rice, whatever that is, and then their black beans as a side dish. And then I got an ice cream cake from Dairy Queen. I would have gotten my wonderful chocolate mousse cake that I get every year from a wonderful bakery in Pennsylvania. I live 30 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as to where you really don't need to know. But we have a bakery around here in a place called Oakmont, PA, which is 45 minutes, almost an hour away, I think it is, something like that. And it's called Oakmont Bakery, and they make the best chocolate mousse cake ever. And I get that like every year my birthday, but because of what's going on with the family, it's like we can get it towards it, sometime during, I was like, okay. So, and then I had my mom's baby brother. My mom's oldest out of 6 kids. There's 3 boys and 3 girls in the fam. My mother's the oldest out of everybody, and out of 3 girls. And then there's 3 boys. And then after my mother Joyce, it goes my Uncle Johnny, who is not my uncle but my godfather. And then it goes my Aunt Janet, my mom's middle sister. Then it goes my Uncle Joey, full name Joseph, but went by Joe or Joey. He passed away a couple years ago of complications of a stroke that he had because he didn't listen to the doctors, take his CPAP, do his medicine. He's like, I don't need this CHIT. And he ended up with a stroke. So that's what happens when you don't listen to the doctors and do what they say. And a few years ago, during April, it was a couple weeks before my birthday. And then it goes my mom's baby sister, my aunt Jean, who's not only my auntie but my godmother. And then it goes my baby brother, my Uncle Jason. My Uncle Jason's wife, my Aunt Debbie, left me a text on my mom's phone saying happy birthday, girlfriend, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and then I had some other people call me and that wishing me happy birthday and all this kind of stuff. My Easter was lovely. We made ham. We had a ham. We had scallop, potatoes, and then we had green bean casserole. Yeah, the normal Easter things that you have. And then I made a carrot cake because my mom wanted a carrot cake for Easter. And then she wanted, and then it was this recipe I found at, Kraft, uh, Kraft Heinz, whatever that is now. It's called creamy jello squares. And it's where there's like a layer of strawberry jello on the bottom. And then you take some of the jello and you put like a whipped cream in there, like Cool Whip. And that's like your creamy layer per se. And then you just kind of, then let it gel, yeah. I'm not a Jello fan. I actually had bought a chocolate cake. I had a piece of chocolate cake left over, so there you go. I think I talked about my mom had a big scare a few days ago. I think it was on Tuesday. That would be the 22nd, I believe. As you know, my mom is still in remission from her cancer because I put an update on the last video I made. but the fam. And what it was, you know, my mom was getting her blood work drawn, and then we didn't get the results. Well, she got the results, like, I don't know when, and I didn't mention anything, and I put it as an update to the video. So she's still cancer free, she's still in remission, she still has very bad knee pain. Your knees are like this, hers are like this, and you're wondering how she's still walking, talking, and standing. My mother had a very, very scary night on Tuesday. My mother is on gabapentin for the pain. Now, she's not a druggie by any means, so don't think that she's a druggie, she's a drug addict. She's not. She's on it, doctor prescribed, doctors watching her like a hawk on it, that kind of stuff. And, you know, very closely monitoring her, you know, controlling dosages and all that kind of stuff. And she had ran out right around, was it Friday? I think it was like Friday or so, that before Easter. So this would have been about April 18th, I think, something somewhere around in there, like Thursday or Friday, somewhere around in there, before Easter. And she called the refill in, and they said, well, we can't get you anything until Monday. And I was like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And she calls the doc to make sure that she's got this refill, and then they say, well, we can't get it to you till Wednesday. Then that's what the pharmacy then told her. And then Tuesday night comes around, so this would have been the day after my birthday, so this was the 22nd of April. She starts off with a headache during the day. And, you know, she gets headaches from time to time. You know, cancer creates all kind of side effects for you. And she took 2 Tylenol. She thought, well, I'll be fine in an hour kind of thing. And by the other night, she had a splitting migraine going on. Like, lights were just bothering her to no avail. She was on the verge of puking. I should say barfing at this point. Could have been chunks. She was up and down. She was rocking back and, you know, it's like she like rocked or shoes herself, something like that. She had very, very bad, massive chills. She had no idea what was going on. And she calls the doctor line, nurse line, or whatever that was, and they said, well, we think you're going through withdrawals because when you're on gabapentin, you have to be weaned off of this medicine. Very meticulously weaned off this medicine. And because my mother didn't have it for a few days, she automatically went into withdrawals. And that was probably one of the most scariest things I've ever seen my mom go through. But she's fine now. Once she had gotten her medicine, and in about an hour or two, she started to feel a lot. And the doctor said, well, she also takes hydrocodone or acetaminophen for the pain as well. And they said, take one of those. That ought to help with the headache somewhat. Because if you're not better by this time, then you go to the emergency room. They'll give you Demerol and all that. Because of how much pain medicine my mom's on, they would think my mom's a druggie. And she's not. She's on a doctor prescribed, like watching you like a hawk, taking it as prescribed, not abusing it in any way, shape, or form. Because I know that some medicines can, you know, can do that. And it was probably one of the most scariest things that we've ever seen, my dad and I, seen my mom go through. But she's fine now. She's okay. Everything's fine. She has a little sore spot in the back of her head. That's to be expected. Once she had her medicine, she was fine. She's feeling a lot better now due to the PEEPS. So, and, you know, I kind of talked about it over on Instagram, so you can find the latest video of me talking about it over there, because I look at Instagram as like my second channel in a way. So it's more up-to-date stuff. So if you want to know what's going on, just follow me on Instagram, it's mkgtweety. So there you go. And welcome to follow, you know, the engagement. All my socials, like I said, are in the description box below. So my dad, this was April 24th, or Thursday. I'm filming this at 1:23 a.m. in the morning on April 25th of 2025. My dad had a spinal stenosis surgery. my Uncle Johnny, so this would be the next oldest after my mother, on the same choice. Um, my Uncle Johnny and his wife, my Aunt Tammy, so my mom's sister-in-law, went down to be with my dad at the hospital. He was at UPMC Montefiore, which UPMC stands for the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. Um, as of right now, he's okay. He made it. He was supposed to go in for 10 a.m. They didn't take him till like 1:30. Sometimes surgeries take longer than expected. You know, sometimes surgeries are shorter than expected and some are longer than expected. So, so he went in and about around 5:30 or so is when he started to go out of the OR into the recovery. And they had to do a 12-inch scar on him. And they had to put rods in his back. Um, and he's resting comfortably right now. When he had a cast procedure done, it was, I believe, was it January or February, somewhere around in there. I can't remember. It's been a while. They found that his heart wasn't pumping blood to a specific part of his heart very efficiently. So he had this cast procedure. Well, they said, oh, it's narrow, but not so narrow. We're gonna, like, do anything about it. Well, one doctor's opinion is one doctor's opinion, but when you have something like the anesthesiologist who's in the operating room, they know a thing or two. So a second opinion. So what they find is the blood vessels around his heart are narrower than what they should be. Your blood vessels are supposed to be nice and open like this. And his are like this, so now it's just a wait and see to see if anything goes wrong with his heart. But we believe he's pulling through at this point. Um, um, like I said, he has rods in his back, he has screws in his back, he had some bone spurs, mini bone spurs at the end of his tailbone. Uh, he's at UPMC's, which I said was stands for the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center Montefiore Hospital. And that hospital was originally like the Jewish hospital. So Jewish doctors and Jewish patients would go there to have their medical care. Now anybody can go there, but that's what it started out as. And he's on the ninth floor. Uh, he's on the north building because there's a north and there's a south building, and he's in room 978. And he's resting comfortably in his room now. I think it was around, was it 9 o'clock, 9:30, somewhere a little bit after 9:30, somewhere around that time frame, when he got to go to his room. My Uncle Johnny and my Aunt Tammy stayed with him. And Uncle Johnny's not only my uncle, he's also my godfather. And I got to talk to my dad, my mom, I got to talk to him over the phone, and I go, when she says, you want to talk to your dad? And I was like, yeah. And I picked up the phone and I go, it's the man, the myth, the legend, Daddy. Hi, Daddy, how you feeling? Are you okay? And he said he's fine, he's doing wonderful. He goes, thank you, dear. And I could tell he got a chuckle when I said that. My mom, she heard me say what I said to Daddy, and she's kind of like, oh, going, ha ha, hee hee. She goes, that was funny what you said. And after I got to talk to him, I gave the phone back to my mom, and it was very comforting and reassuring to hear my dad over the phone. My mom was worried. I was worried a little bit, That's just it's your dad. You don't want anything happening to him. They said the weakness that he's experiencing, they don't know why he has it. He was not going to be able to do anything for a month. If you see my living room right there, see right there, my living room, we had to, uh, we had to clean that out because he's probably going to need a hospital bed for a while, and he's gonna have to, so we had to make room to make sure that the hospital bed's gonna fit. we're going to move a couch. I'm like, Dad, I'm like, don't move the couch. I'm like, just do the middle, you know. Um, he can't do anything for a month, and then he'll have probably physical therapy come to the house and do his therapy and all that, because he won't be able to drive or go anywhere like that. But we have people helping out if I need a ride to go somewhere or not, because I don't drink, drive, and smoke, so, you know. If you go and watch some of my recent Instagram videos, I think it's the one I posted this week on the 23rd. Yeah, the 23rd. The one I posted on April 23rd. I gave my thoughts and feelings on what JFK said about the autism stuff, because I'm actually a high-functioning autistic, if you didn't know. In 87, I got diagnosed with ADHD. I'm 2 years old disabled. My IQ is 70. And I got held back in kindergarten because my mom thought kindergarten wasn't going to be enough learning. So there you go. And then on March 12th of 2018, I got diagnosed as a high-functioning autistic a month before my 35th birthday, because they say girls tend to get diagnosed later on in life. From a doctor who diagnoses and specializes in treating people. She was a heavy accident German doctor. And you can go. I was basically like telling them off. Like, girl, no. Just, you can go watch that video and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you go and find that. I was just upset about what he said, because I know a lot of autistic parents and people were upset as to what he said. Did I agree with it? No. Um, I like what he's doing to try to make, you know, his whole position is, if it's 1:30 in the morning on the East Coast, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I live 30 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. As to where, you don't need to know, but that's generally where I live at. And he goes, if it's banned in Europe, then why can't it be banned in the United States? Why is it still being used in the United States? Kind of stuff. So, okay. So you can go and watch that and know my position on it and stuff. And so my dad has to be in the hospital for a little bit. So probably like 4 days in the hospital. And then he can't do anything for like a month. Just to lie in bed and stuff. And then after that, it's another 3 to 6 months of rehab because of the rods and screws in his back and all this kind of stuff. And then, if he still has weakness after that, then he has to go see a neurologist. Because when he was getting up, he was walking like a crotchety old drunk man. I know, it's like, you shouldn't say that, mkgtweety, but it was kind of like, you know, it's like, you know, how much that? Kind of thing. So there you go. Let's see, what else? I know the next video I'm having is I read 2 children's books on this channel, and it's in a playlist. It was June of 2020 when I read 4 children's stories, and 2 of the books that we read, which was I Think I Saw That on Mulberry Street by Dr. Seuss and Blueberry Girl by Mr. Neil Gaiman. We know Gaiman has allegations, serious stuff against him, and I have to talk about those 2 books because I think I saw that Mulberry Street is no longer in print. They're canceling the book because of something ever a little stupid, but okay. And then I read the Neil Gaiman book because him and my favorite singer in the whole entire world, Taramis, are besties. Now they're not anymore because of what the allegations he has against him. And I talk about how I'm keeping the videos up and why I'm doing that. Not because of the authors. I mean, yes, it's Dr. Seuss. We love Dr. Seuss books. Who doesn't like green eggs and ham? Fish, fish, blue fish, red fish. But I think the story's still cute. So, there you go. And then the Neil Gaiman story, he made that for Taramis when she was pregnant with her daughter at the time. And he wrote like a little poem for her, and I got turned into a children's book. And so I'm leaving it up because the children's book is wonderful. I'm not condoning what he did because It's like, no, bro, you don't do that kind of stuff. That's just like way in line, you know. You're in a position of power. You need to learn that you don't take advantage of women. So, that kind of stuff. Um, and so that's going to be probably the next one that I post very soon. I just want to give you a quick little update as to what's going on. Um, but my dad's okay. He's out of surgery. He's doing great. He's wonderful right now. So he's sleeping at the moment. So I'm going to let him rest. So he'll probably start to feel a little more himself in the morning. But also my other digital peeps, like I said, my socials are linked in the description box below. I have a Pinterest, Tumblr, WordPad, uh, Instagram, uh, Blue Sky, all under the moniker mkgtweety. Here at YouTube is mkgtweety, so you can hit the subscribe button if you like what you see and what I do, and you can hit the thumbs up button if you really, 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 really like it. So, I thank you if you left me well wishes. I thank you very much in advance, and if you want to follow me on my second channel, it's instagram.com/mkgtweety. Just follow me over there for more updated videos and more real-time stuff. So, I'll smile later, digital peeps. I thank you very much. Bye, love and lippy. Bye. Mwah.